Hello, Sun Valley. How's everyone doing out there? Awesome. Amy, thank you so much for that lovely introduction, and most of all for having me to your unbelievable event. It's been great fun so far. Okay, so we have heard from some amazing communicators already today. Unbelievable. But quick show of hands, who in the room would say that we in the sustainability community have done an awesome job historically of communicating on our topic? Overwhelmingly, people agree that no. Okay, so we've had some issues, we've had some challenges. It's actually a little hard to communicate on sustainability, and that's what I've spent the past kind of 12 years of my career trying to figure out. We were reminded last night by Mike Brune that what we have to get better at is talking to people who don't agree with us. We're going to hear in a minute from some incredible speakers who are really figuring out how exactly it is that we will do that. But before we do that, I just wanted to throw out a little bit of provocation from the work at my current company, Futerra, where I'm continuing the work that I began at Ogilvy Earth. So, oh man, here we go with the clicker. Okay. So what you're looking at is a segmentation model that we use to think about who it is that we need to communicate with. Who are we and who are they? So green pioneers. These are the people who really believe that they can be the change they want to see in the world, connected to big global issues, climate change, glaciers, very fired up and believe they can indeed drive that change, tend to believe that the future will be better than the past, and really sort of attached to the idea of human progress. Green pioneers like to think of themselves as kind of the enlightened group in this mix, and they just firmly believe that if everyone else just knew what we knew, if we kept on telling them about all our incredible facts, they would become enlightened and become like us. Now, unsurprisingly, or should I say for some strange reason, some of these other groups don't seem to like that very much. I know, shocker. So at the other end of the spectrum, we have the brick settlers. Brick settlers live in a very small world. So if the Greens live in this big global world, the bricks live in a small world. It's about me, my family, my community, my church, my PTA. They like safety, they like security, they tend to think that the past was better than the future will be, and they really find the way the green pioneers bang on about all this global stuff really mystifying, because how can you care about polar ice caps melting when there are children hungry and litter on the streets right here in our community? Now, it's not that these people can't be engaged on sustainability, but the door that you have to go through to reach them is very different. And we tend to hear a lot about these two groups. There's kind of quite a confrontational relationship. A lot of the people doing the communicating on sustainability are the green pioneers. And a lot of what we're saying is getting lost in translation. So I've talked about two groups, but each of these groups represents less than 20% of the population. The really big group, and the group that a lot of people don't even realize is out there, is the Gold Prospector. And this is a group that lives, if we're in a big world, a small world, this world is all about me. My social status, my peer group, what people think of me. Do I look cool? Am I in the know? And most importantly of all, am I normal? Do I fit in? Making sure that I'm definitely got nothing to do with you weird greenies who don't shave your legs or dye your hair or wear deodorant. So the thing about Gold Prospectors is it's they who set the trends. So actually, if you want to get people engaged in sustainability, if you want to tap into the mainstream 66% of the population who actually drive the trends in this country and in most Western countries, you have to understand how to communicate with Gold Prospectors. And to some sustainability people, this can feel like selling out. It can feel like kind of getting your hands dirty with grubby marketing. But friends, you have to do it. So I'm just going to ask you first of all for a quick show of hands. Who in this room would say that they are probably a green pioneer? Okay, so I hope you don't mind. I count myself amongst us, but we can be a really boring, preachy bunch. Okay, any brick settlers in the room? Great. Not often a lot of brick settlers actually in this kind of crowd, so thank you for being here. And finally, any Gold Prospectors? Yeah, awesome. Embrace it, because these are the people who love to shop, who consume content, who consume products. And what I'm going to show you now is how to sell solar panels. This is going to take 2 minutes because we're tight on time. How to sell solar panels to each of these three groups. Received wisdom is that you can only sell solar panels to green pioneers. And that's true, that you can sell solar panels to green pioneers pretty easy, but what about these other groups? So I'm going to ask my friend on the computer here to help me out here. So I'm going to click. Oh, are we going to go back one? Need to go back one. Would you be able to now play the audio, please, for the green pioneers? This is our radio commercial for selling solar panels to green pioneers.
Do you care about climate change? Do you care about our planet and the people on it? Do you want to be the change you want to see in the world? Well, solar panels.
Okay. So far, so expected. Okay. Now, things are going to get a little bit more interesting. Let's see how we would sell them to brick settlers.
For your electricity bills running amok, we take control with the oldest and cleanest energy around, the sun. These panels will save you money, which is why your neighbour just installed one.
Okay. But what about those wily gold prospectors? How are we going to sell solar panels to them?
Solar energy is hot. These ultra high-performance panels are available in black, pink, and a limited edition platinum. They will be noticed.
And there, my friends, you have it, the answer to all your communications woes. Most of us live at Google Earth level, but most of the people we need to communicate live at Google Street View, and we have to remember that. Whereas what we deal in every day is all this terrible, terrible stuff. This is where they are. This is what their life is like, and this is where we have to meet them. And this was a campaign. This is traditional marketing on species extinction. This is how we did it. Giselle Bundchen, Lee Bingbing, a quiz to find out which endangered species is your spirit animal, create a social media filter. We got 1 billion impressions in 3 months, and it's the most successful campaign by a landslide that UNEP has ever done. So I'm telling you this just to show you that sometimes for green pioneers, this can feel uncomfortable, but we have to step outside our comfort zone if we want to engage people. So our next speakers are a group of people out there doing exactly this in their different ways, with their different audiences, and using whatever is available to them. Our first speaker, Russell Sparkman, is going to address one of the kind of thorny issues in this space. So a lot of what I've been talking about has driven this really annoying, long-standing perception that sustainability or purpose and profit are fundamentally competing forces. They are not, and I've written a book to prove it, which you can all read, called called Green Giants. But what Russell's going to help us understand is that actually, if you can get the marketing right, purpose can not just be coexisting with profits, it can help drive it. So Russell,